Good morning, guys. Welcome to Autodesk Revit 2016. In this video I'm going to show you how to start a brand new project, so let's get started. The first thing you're going to want to do is open up Autodesk Revit 2016. If you don't have it, you can go ahead and check my intro video on my channel and you can download it following my instructions. But once you've installed Autodesk Revit 2016, the first thing you're going to want to do is create a new project. You can either click this, the new, or you can go to the little R on the top and create a new project this way. And there are some other things we'll talk about later on, but let's go ahead and click on a new project. Now, you'll have an option of several different templates. If you have none of these templates, which sometimes happens, that means Autodesk Revit did not install correctly on your computer. And what I would recommend doing is downloading it directly to your computer first and then installing it. But that's something else. So hopefully you have these, and what you want to do usually is most projects start off as an architectural template. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. The difference is construction templates have a lot more levels and floors already designed in it and also have different options available to you. A structural template focuses more on the structure of a building, and mechanical, as you can guess, has to do with the mechanical features of a building. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and it is going to generate us a Revit file. And you'll be greeted to a screen that looks like this one. A couple important things. Here is your properties window. Here is your project browser. This is your workspace. And over here is a bar with all the tools that you'll need to design any structure that you'd like. Now, if you're missing any of these structures, there's a possibility that it was accidentally detached. Like sometimes they're detached and people close out of them, and then you don't have those options over there. But to get them back, all you need to do is go over to the View tab and then head over to User Interface and turn on whichever ones you lost. So I just closed out of my properties. I can reactivate it over here. There's my properties. I can head back to this window and kind of snap it back into place. So I have those as well. Now the first thing we typically want to do when designing a home is the walls. The walls make up the outer area of the wall or of the structure. So wall is located right under the Architecture tab, Wall. You can go ahead and click that. And you can go ahead then and draw in your walls. So let's say I was drawing a 25-foot by, let's say, 18-foot structure, like so. Now you might have noticed right away that this wasn't actually 25 feet. Even though I intentionally meant to click it as so, it didn't quite work out. Not a big deal. If you ever want to change the dimension of a wall in Revit, all you need to do is click on the wall that runs perpendicular with it. So for example, I click this wall if I wanted to adjust this wall, and then you can click on the dimension itself. You can adjust it to 25 feet or whatever you'd like, and then click away, and it'll be adjusted to 25 feet. For those of you not very familiar with construction, a single apostrophe means feet, double apostrophes represent inches, and that is the default settings for Revit. Once you have your dimensions in place, it is often a good practice to click on your dimension. Whoops. I meant click underneath the dimension, like this little bit over here. And then if you do that, you can actually lock your dimension in place so you can't accidentally adjust it. Something that I often hear an issue with is that people often say that the dimensions by default are too small. Right now you can barely see that this is 25 feet. And if I click on it, you can see the temporary dimension is slightly larger, but not by much. An easy fix to this problem is to go to the little R in the top left corner and then go to Options and adjust the text size by heading to the Graphics tab and then changing the temporary dimension to something larger. For a screen with whatever 4K resolution, I will probably go 18 or so. Let's see how that works. Yeah, and now I can visibly see that number without actually straining my eyes. When you click away, it will reduce back to its normal size. We can adjust these dimension and extension lines also like so, and you can see now that we have a much nicer image. Okay, a couple more important things. These windows over here, these are known as our elevations, and what they help do is they help show like the elevation side views of whatever is within their range. So one of these represents north, south, east, and west. And in your project browser, you can actually head over to any of those cameras. I call them cameras. And you can kind of see the side views of the structure you are making. By default, Autodesk Revit sets walls to 20 feet. So if I clicked on a wall in this view, you'll see that it is 20 feet. And your walls are also 20 feet if you click on them. However, in the US, the typical wall size is between 8 and 10 feet. Typically larger if you're in a more luxurious house. And I think for most homes, it's around 8 feet, or 8 feet exact. So something I usually like to do in this view is adjust my second level, if you have a second level, or maybe this is just where your ceiling goes, to 8 feet. And then what you can do is you can click on your walls, and you have a few things you can do to adjust the size. One is use the little arrow on the top here and drag it down to 8 feet. And once you have it, you let it go. The other, and let me switch to another elevation view using my project browser, so I'm going to go south now. The other is you can click on a wall, and in your properties for that wall, you can change the unconnected height to 8 feet and hit apply. And those are actually the two ways I'd prefer, so I'm not going to show you the third way, but go ahead, you can select it. You can actually even click multiple walls, I believe, if you hold down the control button and then click on multiple walls while holding down the control button, and then adjust all the walls simultaneously to the height required. So go ahead, hit apply, and now everything in our elevations view is set to 8 feet. So we're going to continue this in the next video. I will see you then.